Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. First of all, before I get into the transfers, great to see that the police arrested that thug that came onto the pitch and kicked Aaron Ramsdale in the North London derby. Totally unacceptable behaviour. And I'm glad that they've identified him. And a 35, and he's doing rubbish like that. He's been arrested, probably going to be his last ever game at any football club after that. So glad that he's been arrested. Could not believe yesterday when I heard certain journalists on the radio trying to put a bit of the blame on Aaron Ramsdale. Oh, he shouldn't have kissed the badge in front of those fans. It antagonised them. What? Oh my God, I tell you, I don't know what this world's coming to. But yeah, I'm glad that that's been dealt with. And by the way, are you like me where you're getting fed up of hearing about Mudryk? His representatives yesterday and the owners of Shakhtar or the I don't even know, the person in charge of Shakhtar, CEO. Oh, Arsenal this, Arsenal that. He would have went there, but, you know, Chelsea offered more in the deal and they spoke to him before they spoke to us. And listen, just be grateful that you got an inflated transfer fee for Mudryk. You know, you've got that. Just move on. It's obvious to me from all what he's chatting that number one, he's very close to Chelsea. So that's why that deal went down. And number two, right, it seems to me like Mudryk didn't really want to go to Chelsea. And we saw all the stuff that he put out before. He didn't really want to go to Chelsea. He's gone to Chelsea now. It's a great deal for Shakhtar. Whether it's a great deal for Mudryk, who knows? But he's gone there now. And now we don't care. Just get on with it. It's football. He's made his decision. He's obviously been, I think, pushed into that by the hierarchy at Shakhtar who wanted to do the deal with Chelsea and not Arsenal. It's done. It's dusted. Goodbye. You're a Chelsea. We're Arsenal. Leave it. And you're Shakhtar. Get lost. Right? So that's how I feel about it. I'll get fed up of hearing about it. He's moved. Good luck to him. Well, not actually. Not good luck to Chelsea. But listen, just good luck to him in his career. We move on. We move. And of course, some of the targets that we're looking at, one of them is Leandro Trossard, who apparently Chelsea are interested in him as well. How many more wide players are they going to have? I think they must have about 9 wingers at the moment at Chelsea. And apparently they're interested in Trossard as well. Also interested in Trossard. So are Tottenham as well. As I said yesterday, a lot of the talk is that Tottenham put in a verbal bid of £12 million to Brighton, which was rejected by Brighton. Trossard, 1 year left on his deal, but Brighton can put an extension on that. Brighton said to want about £25 million. Again, this club, Brighton, when it comes to transfer business, they are one of the smartest teams in world football. They've got a three-way battle on for their player, bidding war. We know that Arsenal don't do bidding wars. That's what they keep showing us. So who knows where he'll end up? But Trossard, do you want Trossard at Arsenal? Do you think Trossard would be a good signing for Arsenal right now as it stands? I really would like to hear from you. We're going to have to get a poll going. We get a poll going on the app. Do you want Trossard, or do you think Trossard would be a good signing for Arsenal this January transfer window? Because he is one player that we do know who is available, and we know how difficult it is to do deals in the January transfer window. So let us know about Trossard. Moussa Diaby, of course, is the other player that's been heavily linked with Arsenal. I spoke a lot about yesterday. According to Sky here in the UK, contact has been made by Arsenal with the representatives of Moussa Diaby. Apparently, again, there's little rumours that, Bayer Leverkusen not very happy about this, that, Arsenal have spoken to the representatives and not spoken directly to them yet. They do not want to sell him. That's the key here. They do not want to sell Moussa Diaby during the January transfer window. They're said to be open to selling him in the summer, but right now in the January transfer window, they do not want to sell him. His profile, everything about him, he's a top player. He scored goals last season. He's scoring them again this season. And I think would be, you know, you could argue a better signing than Mudryk because he's more proven. But will Arsenal try and make a move for him in January? I think the only way something like this could possibly happen, in my opinion, in January would be for Moussa Diaby to throw his toys out of the pram and try and force a move. Now, it's whether he be up for doing that, whether he wants to do that. And again, this could be another bidding war situation as well, because Newcastle are also very interested in Diaby. Apparently, they tried to bid for him in the summer, and they didn't get him, but they're interested in him as well. And we know, a bit like Chelsea, they've got unlimited funds. So that could be another battle that we face. And this is the thing, what you're going to face as a football club. When it comes to certain players, there are going to be more than one top team in for him, and it could come down to a bidding war. And we're being told that Arsenal don't do bidding wars. They're not up for doing that. But sometimes they're going to have no choice if you want to bring in certain quality players. Cedric, of course, right back at Arsenal, 31 years of age now, is in talks at the moment with Fulham. Cedric on a move there. We said that they're close to agreeing personal terms and that Cedric could join Fulham by the end of the week. Of course, you know, really difficult for Cedric now, you know, I mean, with Ben White having such an incredible season. You've also got Tomiyasu there. I mean, that's two top quality players in the right back position. And it's just difficult right now for Cedric to get into the team at all. So he needs to play football, and he looks like he's going to be moving on to Fulham. Not sure what the fee will be, but he's in talks now, just discussing the personal terms in order to get that deal done. Talking of deals, and, you know, we keep talking about players out there we should bring in and get this player and get that player. What about tying down some of the players that we've got right now? Now, there's three of them in question. William Saliba, Gabriel Martinelli, and also Saka. All three of them are on quite small contracts because they're young players. So they're not really getting big money at the moment. And all three of them, Arsenal at the moment, are negotiating new deals with them. The deals for Martinelli and Saka said to be progressing well, and doesn't seem to be any problems, and those ones should get done. But there is a little bit of a worry over the Saliba one. We're being told that, you know, Saliba's representatives and Arsenal are a distance apart when it comes to nailing down a deal for William Saliba. Now, William Saliba is an absolutely critical and pivotal player in that defence. He's been absolutely brilliant this season. That partnership between him and Gabriel has been fantastic. We got to keep this kid. He's one of the hottest young centre-backs in world football. We've definitely got to keep hold of him. The good thing about it is that Saliba, he came out you know, after the North London derby and said, listen, I know the negotiations are going on. I love it here at Arsenal. I absolutely love it. So he wants to stay. You know, if all goes well, he'll be Champions League football as well next year for Saliba and also for Martinelli and Saka. So we need to get these deals tied down as soon as possible. But Saliba seems to be the one that seems to be the hardest at the moment to be getting sorted. But fingers crossed we can get that sorted. By the way, I was thinking to myself, if Mudryk is worth 88 million, how much is Gabriel Martinelli worth? I'm not even going to throw the Saka thing into the mix because we know that Saka must be worth way more because he's not just done it, you know, on the you know, Premier League stage. He's done it on, you know, the world stage as well at the World Cup, Saka. But even Martinelli, I mean, I watched him for Brazil, you know, against Cameroon in the World Cup, and he was the best player on the pitch for Brazil. And we've seen him doing it week in, week out in the Premier League. How much is he worth if Mudryk is worth 88 million? That's the question I want to ask. Now, you know what? I wanted to suggest myself, these are two picks myself, from my little bit of scouting I've been doing, that I thought to myself, why are Arsenal not making a move for these two players? I know we missed out on Mudryk, and I also think we need a midfielder. And I want to suggest two players to you guys today, right? And you tell me what you think. The first one is Jonathan David of Lille. Now, we've been linked with him over the past couple of transfer windows. He's 23 years of age. Canadian international, centre forward, valued at around about £45 million, although now that the market's been inflated by the whole Mudryk thing, it would be more than that probably. But he's a good player, centre forward, but can also play, you know, on the different wings. He's 2-footed, so again, that's another great attribute. And he scores goals. He scored a load of goals last season for Lille, and he's doing it again this season. I think 12 goals in 19 appearances this season, 15 goals last season. Now, I know he didn't have a great World Cup. He wasn't, you know, I remember in the World Cup, he missed a couple of sitters, but I don't think you can just base it off of that. You've got to base it off of what he's done in his last couple of seasons. I think this would be a good move for Arsenal when you're looking for a centre forward. There's not a lot of top centre forwards out there right now, and he, for me, looks like a player that could come to the Premier League and do well. And certainly he wants to come to the Premier League. He's spoken several times about his dream of playing in the Premier League, and he's been doing it at the highest level for Lille for the last couple of seasons. And the next player I wanted to put forward, who is available at the moment, if you listen to all the reports, is Franck Kessie of Barcelona. Now, Kessie, 26, excellent last year for AC Milan when they won the title. Really, really top player. His contract ran out and he went to Barcelona on a free, but he's just not figured for Barcelona. Hardly played for them at all this season. Just been a bit part player. Now, he's said to be available for, you know, I think the sport publication was saying that he could be available for around about £20 million. He's been heavily linked with a move back to Italy, to Inter Milan this time. And I think Tottenham was a club that they were looking at him. Yeah, Spurs were a club that were looking at him as well. They were said to have made an offer for him, but was rejected. But for me, I know he's more of a box-to-box midfielder, but he can play as a defensive midfielder as well. I would be, if I was Arsenal, I'd be exploring this deal and looking at Franck Kessie because he's a top player, unless they've got the nod on Declan Rice for sure in, you know, when it comes down to the summer, and that's why they're not moving. But for me, for £20 million or round about that sort of fee, you know, Franck Kessie, and he will be available. You know, there's even been talks of swap deals with Brozovic, Inter Milan for him. I just think he would be a good signing for Arsenal when we're looking for midfielders, strong in that midfield as well. And I could definitely see him fitting into the Arsenal team very, very well. Lots of energy. And as I said, he could play in that defensive midfield position as well. So, guys, let me know what you think about those two. Those are two of my suggestions. But, yeah, listen, the January transfer window, we're into the 18th of January now. We desperately need to get a couple of bodies in, as Mikel Arteta has been saying, all window, just to strengthen things and try and see if we can push on and win this league. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, later on in the week, we've got some brilliant build-up content to that game. Arsenal taking on Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. So make sure you check that all out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.